and welcome to my channel. This is Lisa with Lisa's Faith and Budget Planning channel. I'm excited to be here today. I'm excited to be here with you getting into my Mortgage Monday. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm excited to have you here and share with you my mortgage slowed down payoff journey is what I'm going to call it. Originally, my mortgage began in October of 2022. We bought our house and our first payment was October 1st, 2022. And I've been tracking our mortgage ever since in these videos and sharing those with you guys. The second year in 2023, in that January, we were adding $550 to our mortgage for year of 2023 and 2024 in the hopes to continuing that for 15 years and pay off our mortgage early. Things changed and my husband's income dropped significantly to get the job he really wanted, and it's been the best decision we ever made, though it does put us in the position where we couldn't pay extra towards the mortgage. So beginning in this year, we are just doing the principal payment that naturally happens or that's already scheduled in the mortgage of our pay schedule of our mortgage. So that is where we are right now. I have all the details of our mortgage. I always do this the Monday after the payment, and I have all the breakdowns and stuff like that just to show you and help maybe familiarize you with what the potential could be if you were paying extra. If you look at my older videos, you can see how it progresses 2 to 3 months with that $550 and then how it's slowed down now. But it also shows that we are still in that range of how much money we saved paying it down faster in the beginning. So let's look at the numbers. I'm going to write here on this notepad exactly the breakdown so you guys can see how it looks. Our beginning amount for the month of May is the ending amount or the new balance for the end of April. So we just start at the beginning here, and we're going to go over here and just go ahead and put in some numbers and take a look at how the mortgage actually broke down. So for my May mortgage payment, my payment's the same every month. It includes our homeowner's insurance, our escrow, and the escrow shortfall that we had last year. So we're paying it down this year and it's just added on top of the mortgage, and the bank is like, we can do that. I didn't have any cash to do it. Hopefully it's not much next year and I can just pay cash for it and not add it to my mortgage, but I might have to. I don't know because I can't seem to save up for it because other things keep happening. So we'll see what happens. Maybe I can save a few months at the end of the year, a little bit to offset the cost of the escrow for the property tax valuation when it goes up. My area is changing quite a bit and property values have been going up, which is great, but that means property taxes go up as well. So that is where we're at right now. My mortgage amount is $2,048.03. That's what I pay every month. The principal that was applied to this balance here, so principal was $373.95. So that number is very small just because my mortgage is still very early. So we are only in our third full year. So 23, 24, and 25. Yeah, this year will be, by the December of this year, will be a full year, another year paid. So we've only had like 2 years and 3 months. Well, 2.5 years. Roughly 2.5 years that we've paid on our mortgage. So it's always, the principal is always smaller in the beginning and larger towards the end because they always want their interest up front. And that's why paying your mortgage down early mitigates that, and you pay less in interest over time, and it's such a blessing if you could do that. But it does take a lot of money to do that. So we're going to have to write it out for right now, but God is good and we are not going to worry about it. Here, the next thing we have is the interest that we're paying. So every month the interest will go down a few dollars and the principal will go up a few dollars. As you can see here, there's a couple dollars here and a couple dollars there difference. And so that is how the mortgage works all the way up until the end. If you are someone who has an online bank account with your mortgage, you could go in and see your amortization schedule. You can go in and see what you have in the mortgage calculator. If you wanted to add like $100 or $500 to the mortgage every month, what would that look like? You want to switch to monthly to bi-weekly, which can add an extra payment, full mortgage payment by the end of the year, and lower your mortgage even more. Things like that. There's a lot of things that you can do, that you can control now that you have a mortgage, if you have one. If you don't, and you're new to getting a mortgage, or you're thinking about buying a house, this is a great way to take a sneak peek of what a real mortgage breakdown looks like. So the interest this month was $1,183.81. Now, if I combine these two numbers together, that is my mortgage payment total. But I also include in my mortgage payment the principal and the interest, as well as the escrow, which is made up of a handful of things. But the total escrow that I'm paying is $490.27. That is my homeowner's insurance. That is the escrow, which is the estimated property tax that the bank came up with this year for the new year. And then, like I said before, about just over $45 of this total number here is also me playing catch up on the shortage escrow that I needed to cover what the last year's property taxes were for the mortgage company. So they let us play catch up, and that is all included in this number. So these are my numbers. I'm going to grab my calculator, and if I'm right, if I take this number and I subtract out all these things, I should get 0. So let's make sure that is what's happening here. And yes, so I am at 0, and that means everything has been satisfied for the mortgage. Now all I have to do is take the previous balance, which is this, well, I won't write it on here, but let me move this over. I can take this previous balance, or the new balance, beginning balance here, and we can do the $237,157.91. I did that wrong. There we go. And then we're going to subtract what I had here for the principal, which was $373.95. And that gives me my new balance. So I want to write that $373.95. And see how that's only a little bit more than the previous month. So it's going up. And then my new balance for the month of June is $236,783.96. I'm going to go ahead and write the interest because I like to track and see how much at the end of the year of how much principal I've paid, how much interest. You don't have to do that. It's just something I like to see the total, and it helps me to kind of explain to my husband exactly what's going on with our mortgage. Not that he really asked to see it. I kind of make him sit down and listen. But at the end of the year, I do go over our numbers and go, okay, this is what happened with this, like our mortgage. This is what happened with our credit card this year. This is what happened with anything else that we might have. Those are only two credit things that we have is our mortgage, and we have one credit card, and I got to get my credit card paid down again, or I'll never get back to paying down my mortgage faster. So right now I'm going to go ahead and write this number again, $236,783.96. I think that's right. Let me double check. Okay. I'm glad I double checked that because my notes said something different, and I'm not sure. Okay, I'm glad I double checked it. My notes said one thing, my Excel spreadsheet said the same thing that my notes did, and that is not the right number. I'm not sure what I did. So anyways, I'm sure you caught the mistake, whatever it was. And let's write the correct number, $236,784.01. There we go. So that is the new balance. I'm going to write that over here. I must have missed a number somewhere because it wasn't that far off. There we go. It doesn't affect the interest or anything like that. I just need to make sure that. Oh, I see where the problem is. I put a 6 here and a 1 here. Is that the problem? I think that was the problem. So that's why I was off by a little bit. And that's okay. I got it. I caught myself. This is why I always do these ahead of time before I talk to you guys to make sure I do this right. Now we're going to move on to my amortization schedule and then what it looks like since the beginning of my mortgage on a spreadsheet. So those are the two things we're going to look at now. First, the amortization schedule. So the amortization schedule, I'm only jumping 1 month ahead, which makes sense. I made one monthly payment, and so moving ahead 1 month. I'm going to get my highlighter here, and we're going to highlight this. I've got this nice pretty spring purple color. And on the amortization schedule, because I did spend 2 solid years adding more to the mortgage than what was required for a principal only payment, I bumped this up several months, well, a couple years ahead of schedule, so that's good. We are in May of 2025. But this mortgage payment satisfied what we needed for November of 2028. So we're still 3 years ahead, it looks like. It's a bright color. There we go. So I'm going to mark over here. That is May of 2025. And as you can see, before in 2024, it would jump at least 3 months, if not 2 months. So that is what is highlighted. That one color meant it jumped that far. And then as you can see, January of this year is just going month to month to month, which is fine. This is where we're at in the stage of our life, and that is what we need to do to take care of our mortgage. Now, I printed this mortgage amortization schedule on November 22nd because our original mortgage got sold, and after it was sold, it went to a new company, and so I had to do the schedule all over again. But nothing changed price-wise or anything like that. So I added October to the top. I just wrote the numbers at the top, and that was the interest, but that's not included in total interest here. It's just the interest that we paid that one time with that one company. So because of that, I have to add it in when I'm looking at how much interest have we saved. Are we still saving interest even though we're not jumping ahead and we're just doing the monthly? So far we're doing pretty good. Top of each page I have that interest number just kind of written up there, and I'm going to take this number of the total interest combined October of 2022 to May of 2025, which is today, and then I'm going to subtract it from the actual interest that we actually have, and you'll see that on the spreadsheet. So I'm going to take this $90,821.65, and I'm going to add this $1,298.33. And so this is the estimate, about close enough to how much interest we would have been charged if we had stuck to the schedule and just done once a month. Once a month, we would be right here. Let's find May of 25. This is where we would be. And as you can see, we're, all the way down here on this side. So this is where we would be in this orange color here. So we finished that in October of 2023. Which is so exciting still to reflect back and see where we could be right now and not at, because we paid so much ahead. So that was pretty awesome. I'm going to zoom you out just for a second. So I took the numbers that we just did, and I have the principal that we've paid so far on the mortgage since October 22nd of 22 to May of 2025, and here we are. So $23,315.99. That is where we're at. Here is the new balance that we just went over. Here's the total interest paid thus far for the entire mortgage. I have it off to the side because it doesn't really affect the beginning principal, new balance, these numbers, because this is where we started. It's $260,100, and we subtract the principal, and that's the new balance. So we go all the way down, and we've made pretty good strides. We've definitely paid down $23,300, as you can see. I would love to keep coming back and doing more. We're just not in that season. It's exciting every time I do this, the possibilities, knowing how it can move your mortgage forward. And you can't because circumstances, but the potential in the future that you might be able to again, that's exciting to me. So it always keeps it in the forefront of my mind. Am I stewarding our money well so we can get to the point where we're doing it again? Or do I need to pay attention to a certain area of our spending or our budget and see how we can make it work again if it's time? If it's not time, I'll just wait. So that is the exciting thing. So I took this number and put it as the amortization interest. It's an estimate, and what we actually paid in interest, and we're still ahead by $52,384.76. And that makes me feel really good that we're still ahead, that we're not falling behind, that we're, on the schedule, we're pretty far ahead, and here, dollar-wise, we're pretty far ahead. So this is interest we did not have to pay. We saved ourselves $52,000 in interest, and that stayed with us. Now, that's over a period of time. I don't actually have $52,000, but over that time period, I didn't have to pay it because we jumped so far ahead. So that is always a good reminder too, to help put the mindset of I still want to come back and add an extra principal only payment. So that is my Mortgage Monday. I'm going to go ahead and close out this video. I hope you guys are doing well. And let me know in the comments, are you on a mortgage payoff journey? Are you trying to pay your mortgage down faster? Or are you just trying to learn what is a mortgage? What does it look like? And how do I need to pay attention and maybe speed up the process? Just little questions like that. What is going on with you, your mortgage? Are you saving up for a down payment on a house? Things like that. I'm not an expert by any means. There are plenty of people out there that are experts, and always talk to a financial advisor when you are talking about money and mortgages. They can definitely guide you in the right process for those. But I really do appreciate you guys watching, and please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys next time. Have an amazing and blessed day. Bye.
So you think